Alright, good morning. I just checked out of the Quality Inn here in Harper's Ferry. I'm going to try this way. I was looking, I think there's a way I can get up this way without walking on that busier road. And I got to get across town. And it's raining. So that's alright. It's going to clear up. It's just not raining hard, just sprinkling. So we'll just deal with it. We go straight down this road. It goes down and then it comes up. Then down to the ferry where the rivers come together. The old ferry site. We cross the Potomac. And I'm going to resupply first. There's a grocery store somewhere down here. Some kind of general store or something. Armory quarters. It's an old two-story brick building. It's back to 1820, huh? Wow. Now look at this old house. It's log. That's a old log house. Style brick on the headers. The old style header with the brick. Bet you that's 1800s. Another old house. Looks like it's been restored. Pretty cool, man. This is goose. This was the arsenal of the United States back in the start of our country. Stonewall Jackson's headquarters. Check it out. That's what that is. Unreal. Stonewall Jackson's headquarters. Now that is so cool. Stonewall Jackson's headquarters. I can remember, and it stuck in my mind years ago, a quote when he died, when he got shot. And he was the one that got shot by his own men crossing through the picket after that. He said, let me see. He said the last thing he said before he died was, let's cross the river. Let's cross the river and we'll rest under the shade of the trees. And then he took his last breath. Pretty. I've always thought of that as, let's cross the river and we'll rest under the shade of the tree. All right. Still heading towards the ferry. They've repaired it. But right there where it kind of edges down, that's where the Confederate cannonball hit there from the Maryland Heights during the war. And during John Harper's raid, or John Brown's raid, the reverend here ordered the church bells rung to alert the town. That's the cannonball. That's the repair spot where the cannonball was, right there. There's the two triangular pieces. Yep. That's where the cannonball hit. I was thinking Maryland was the other way. I'm getting turned around here. Yeah. And to think, Stonewall Jackson probably walked on this very sidewalk up from his headquarters to come here to church. Think about that. Wow. And yeah, there's the two triangular pieces right there that we just saw, and that's where the cannonball from Maryland Heights. You are here. I thought Maryland was over here. How did that cannonball? I guess it must have been shot from up here. I don't know. Now it said in that picture that it came from the Maryland Heights, but I don't see how that cannonball could have come from the Maryland Heights. It's on the wrong side of the building, unless it went through the roof of the church and then came down and busted out that wall, a hole in that wall. I don't know. Another old church. The other one was Lutheran. This is Methodist. But you know, that's the era too. Look at the old. You know, this place had such a military presence with the armory here back in the start of the country, or even before with British rule. And then so, you know, it's no wonder there might be different churches. Because military come from all over. 12,000 Union troops was captured by the army of General Stonewall Jackson September 15th, 1862, on the way to join Lee at Antietam. I remember the forced march to Antietam and the angle and all that down there, wasn't it? And them guys did a forced march. Wow. Just to line up and shoot each other. Everything's pretty in Harper's Ferry. That land right there, ain't no telling how much it cost. And then they got to tear that down and rebuild something else. It costs a fortune. It's really not. I don't know. It'd be all these old houses, you know what I'm saying? But I got to find some place that's open that I can get out of this rain. The rain has picked up. Number 3 on the street. That one's got a 1958 marker. I'm going down to the old historical section downtown where the old armory and ferry was across the Potomac. Right, you got the Shenandoah that comes together, and then you got the Potomac right there in the shoal area, and that's where the old ferry was. This is the old armory down here. Something open down here. There's actually a hostel right there. It was filled up. It's got a few bunks. I stepped in a little coffee pot, cafe, and put my rain cover on and my rain jacket. All these bars and grills are closed. I'm gonna go down here to the outfitter. There's an outfitter down here. I'd like to find a place I can duck in and hang out. This rain's supposed to clear out by here in a couple of hours. Ah, ain't that something? Alright, I think that's the old armory, but they moved that, I believe. That's where they caught the John Brown there. Robert E. Lee did when he was head of the military guard. There was a guard. Look for a grill and a pub open. There's nothing open. 10 o'clock in the morning out here. Even the coffee shops ain't even open. Yeah, there's a tour group looking at John Brown's armory. That's what it looks like, the old historical place, old historical part of town. I'm not going to wait for a pub or a grill to open up. I'm just going to go. All right, that's that right there is where the Shenandoah comes down. It's Potomac coming across here, all coming down. We're going to cross the Potomac into Maryland. Never hiked over there. Since the last time I've been out here, the train had crashed and wrecked this thing. Or the train had something over on the side of it, and it come down and just wrecked this whole thing right here. They had to rebuild it. This is a brand new walkway. Crosses the train where the train crosses. There's the Shenandoah coming down. Look at that old bridgehead. Look at this old bridgehead here. Now that's the Maryland side of the cliff. So that'd be way down that ridge down there. They fired that cannonball to hit the church. I think, yeah. Water should be flowing. Wait a minute. Yeah, it's going that way. So that's downstream there. Nothing but rocks. This is the Potomac joining the Shenandoah right here. So yeah, this would have been a good place for a ferry. Right down there, see where all that, yeah, I think this old ferry was probably right there where that bridge was. I don't know. Then it went along, yeah, there's the old road. Alright. I should have stayed in Harper's Ferry. I'm still thinking about turning around, but if I don't get going, I'm not going to make any progress. I got to keep moving north. I'm gonna get wet, but you know, I'll dry out. The sun's supposed to come out later. I'm not gonna catch a chill. I'm just gonna keep moving. Let's go. Let's go into Maryland. Crossing the Potomac, unknown territory. I bought some resupply back there from that general store. It was just like a general store. There's no supermarket here. It's a tourist town. So, you know, I've got a 4-day food bag, and it's heavier now. I bought a whole thing of tortillas, flour tortillas, and some more packaged meat. I'm gonna make some tortillas. Bought some more protein bars. Brought some more electrolytes. I got everything watertight in Ziploc bags. I'm good to go. That's as far as I walked. Now it's gonna pick up and start pouring rain. Son of a gun, man. Be nice to be in one of them grills right now. But that's as far as I went in 2018. I walked to the bridge, crossed the bridge, and that was it. I'm in unknown territory. Never hiked here before. Everything south of here I've hiked at least twice, some 3 or 4 times. Never hiked here before. Let's go. I don't know how far we go along the Potomac here, but I have to look at my map, but it's rain's let up a little bit. But this looks like this is an old towpath, I think. So this is pretty cool. We just hang out here. I don't even have my poles out yet. That's really weird because I don't know where I'm at. Ain't got an idea. And I can't really use my GPS app because anybody that knows, if you use a camera with a weatherproof cover like this one's got, and then on top of that I got my compromised a little bit because I dropped it on the rock. But you can't move. You try to use your finger, it won't. I can cut the phone on and off, but that's about it. You know, I can't use the feature. It's hard to use an app when the screen's wet. All right, I'm looking for a bike or anything. Let's just continue on and see if it starts to rain. I got to get this phone up. It's on and off. Oh, cold rain. So I got to follow. It's really weird because I've never hiked out here. I have no idea. So I'm like following these blazes, and that's it. That's all I can do right now. I think there's a water source in another, I think 6 or 7 miles. I don't know. This is what happens when you cross the Potomac. This is what happens when you cross the Potomac. Well, I can go to the left. I don't know if it wasn't coal. It might have been some kind of ore or something. I don't know. It was like coal to me. About 100 cord lengths long. Now there was a hostel. I just talked to that guy. There was a hostel half a mile down that road. 5/10. If I don't get going, I'm gonna end up going that off. So I got to go. We got to move on. About 30 miles. I can go up to this next shelter and we'll take a break. Got to go. Old bridge down there. I mean an old bridge. I don't think I'm going to go to the cliffs. Looks like it's straight down. And it's wet and rocky. Now, this is an actual shelter on the AT. It's got a loft in it. The other shelter's down there. And it's got a little back porch. But it's got like this plexiglass in the front so there's no wind. And it was pouring down rain. I went through that rain all morning, but one thing I didn't do, I didn't check temperature. And the temperature got down to like 59 degrees, 58 degrees, 60 degrees. And this is a cold rain. And I was like, it was a few. I started getting cold. Well, I kept hiking, and I was still getting cold. I ain't got nothing but shorts. You know, I'm dressed for summertime. So I know I had to dry out, so I come up here and I got out of the wet socks, put on my long part of my pants, put them on. all the rest of the stuff's wet. Went down there, put my one midweight layer I kept, and we was dry. I put that on, the long sleeve midweight, and then I put my puffy jacket on. So I knew the rain was going to stop. If I knew it wasn't going to stop, then I'd have hiked another 4 miles. Just looking for a spot for it to die down. Then I'd have set camp. Then I'd have got dry. First I'd have dried everything, got my tarp up. So I was in a secure tarp, and I would have gotten that. Got my cocoon, my 10-degree underquilt. I'm kind of glad I'm not getting rid of that 10-degree underquilt. We're going to keep that because it's going to feel good tonight, because it's supposed to get down to like 58 degrees tonight. So, all right, I got to go a quarter mile down the hill to get water. I didn't even check on water coming out here. I don't know nothing about this old ridge here. The next one, you got to go down a long way. So I'm not planning on that. I want to put in a big day tomorrow. Then I'm going to come up to another area with a motel. But I got to put in a big day tomorrow if I'm going to make that. And I'd have it's like 34 miles from here. So, yeah, we'll see it. It's right by Walmart. Right by Walmart. I just got to get a ride in town. All right, let's go. All right, this shelter is too cool. Look at this. All right, I'm gonna go around it. Look at this area out here to cook our fire. Look at this. Please carry out your litter. Look at this. Look at these hot plates here where you can set your stove up. See, isn't that cool? There's the main shelter. All right, I gotta go a half a mile downhill to get the water, half a mile back. I didn't know all this. I better get going. Now that is to hike 4 more miles, and it's the same way 4 minutes down, or hike another 10 miles. You know what I mean? So I gotta find out where the water is. Where the water trail is. Hold on. I look around here. Finally found it. After going down 2 false trails, I got to get a move on. Spring, 4 miles. Actually, it's not 4 miles, it's 0.4, which is the same thing as a half a mile by the time I got to it. So, half a mile down, half a mile back. Shit. Only thing I'm carrying is my dip thing and my water, but I really need this water. I need to get out of here at the latest by 4. I want to get to camp by 6 or 6:30. I want to at least get to camp by 6:30 so I can have it set up before it gets dark. Gotta find a tree. All right, let's go. This is how I'm having to go get this water. I don't have a backpack on, but I'm trotting down this hill and moving along. But it's gonna be one heck of a climb back. And I carry that water too, because this is steep. Jeez. All right. Shit. I got my puffy jacket. I'm warm. It's quit raining now. That's why I wore it down here to warm up. I'm gonna end up sweating in this thing. I don't want to compromise it. I'm gonna have to take the puffy and carry it. This is crazy. Jeez. All right, we got water. I gotta get water and get up that hill a mile. Jeez. All right, finally back on the trail from that shelter. The fiasco going down there and getting water. Now I got plenty of water. I think the next water is like at 9 miles, which isn't bad, but I ain't going that far. I can't get that far. And I had to have water to eat. I went up there and ate. I was hungry, and I go through some water when I'm eating. So I didn't have but maybe a little more than a liter left. That was it. I couldn't camp with that because I know I needed to eat again. I wasn't done hiking. And in the morning, it's still another 5-mile water carry. So it's like they put a dilemma. I had to get water. And there's 2 places on this ridge, these 2 shelters, and each one of them has got a mega hike down to get it. I said, well, I better get it at this one. And this one might have been further down. I don't know, but it was a long way down. And I finally got it. It's almost 4:30. I went up there thinking I had plenty of time. I had an hour and a half. I said, I'll just head about 4 o'clock. I'll start heading out. I ain't got to go 4 miles, and I go 4 miles, get a camp spot. and then I'll push a big day tomorrow, because that'll get me within 30 miles of my destination where I want to take a break. Now I got two choices. I can put in a big day tomorrow, which would be close to 20 miles, and then like a 10 or 12 miles, I come on in there, catch a ride there, get a motel room, get in there in the afternoon, go over there to Walmart, get everything done, and then if I want to pull a zero, I get kicked back zero. You know, it's something to think about. So, or not even a zero, just go with that Nero and keep going down the trail. So yeah, more options. I got to at least get up here. And at any rate, I had to get water. If I was going to camp there, I'd have to get water anyway. That's another 9 miles so I can get water. I didn't look at the water real good, and I knew there were shelters up here. I knew there were springs up here, but I didn't know you had to go that far downhill, because I don't know these ridges out here. I never hike them. So I know now I gotta make sure I keep that up. I'm learning real quick. All right, I gotta get moving. Get this camera out of my hand because I'm going up. All right. If you're ever on the Appalachian Trail in Maryland and you want to work for your water, Ed Garvey Shelter. Stop there, and you'll earn every drop of it if you want to really work for it. And if you haul up more than a liter, you know, it's got to be. Some guy was telling me back there, he's a past hiker. He said, man, that's like 400 feet to that water in a half a mile. I said, what? No way. I believe it. All right, I got to make tracks. Let me see. According to my waypoints, I got 4 miles before I'm going to make camp, and it's going to be about 600 feet in elevation gain in those 4 miles, so that's not too bad. Yeah, we can handle that. Hopefully get there by a quarter till 7. That'd be nice. And it's blue skies now, sun shining. But I'll tell you something I'm worried about. This right leg hurts. And it's just, I can walk it out. But this is where I just slipped and fell on it again. But the thing is, it's like a Charlie horse. It's not pulled. The muscle is not pulled. You know, I can tell it's not pulled. It's like it goes into the pain, goes into the hip almost. But I can walk it out eventually. And I think it's just an overuse injury, and my leg needs an extended rest. And I probably should have did a 0 day back there. I'm thinking I might go to this next spot and do a 0. Let's see how I feel tomorrow. Sometimes I get a good night's sleep, and I wake up and everything's different the next day. So I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, right now I just need to get the camping set up, and it's about 30 miles ahead where I'm looking at to get another motel room. It's close to Walmart, which is and a place to eat. So that just seems like a prime place to go. So I'm gonna head there. It's outside a Penmar station. Yeah, there's rocks out here, and then there's slippery rocks, and there's rocks that aren't slippery. You gotta just be careful with it. I'm gonna take my time right down here, but that motel's supposed to be hiker friendly, but they all are. That's in the app, and this one right here had a hiker discount, the Quality Inn there. But when I got there, I told her, I said, do you give a veterans discount? Do you give a senior citizen discount? I hit them with that stuff. And she goes, well, actually, the veterans discount's better than the hiker discount. The hiker discount was 10%. The veterans discount was 15%. And I said, okay. I showed her my here's my VA card. Showed her my VA card. She said, okay, 15%. So so you got, and that's the second time. Another time I told them, and they gave me another discount. So I actually got 2 discounts, or whatever their maximum discount was. They got a certain percentage they can't go. It's usually 15%, and So, all right, let's go. All right, my right leg is hurting. It's gotten worse. I've been needing a break. It was stressed out since the roller coaster, and I come in there to Harper's Ferry and went down and got my new shoes, and I was ready to go. But I came in like on a 12-miler. I mean, that was a pretty good day. Coming through the rocks too, and coming a lot of downhill. So my legs were stressed coming in. Boom, I'm right back out here the next day in the rain. And then that I knew I needed a break. And then I should have took a zero back there, but I wanted to keep going. And then running down there to get that water and coming back up, I mean, I was like on the double quick, you know. And that's just, it's done good. I don't know, we'll see what it feels like in the morning. But it might be, I might have to take it easy for a couple days. Yeah, just pulled a muscle in my leg, man. Yep.
Just now?
Yeah, just I went down there. All right, I made it about a mile. I'm sitting in my hammock. I saw a couple of hammock trees over there, and there's a trail that comes down through here. I wanted to get another 3 miles of that shelter, but I'm short. That leg started hurting. I ain't no sense. You know, I'm afraid I could push through. I feel like I could push it and hike another 5 miles if I had to, you know, but it's hurting. And I'm afraid if I do, I'm going to wake up in the morning and I ain't going to be able to move. I ain't going to be able to move. So I'm going to make camp early here. It'll be a dry camp. I mean, I got 2 liters of water, 2.5 liters of water sitting here. I mean, I got plenty of water. I'm going to hydrate real well. I'm going to eat. And I'm going to eat some protein bars. Probably might eat some of that breakfast, instant breakfast. No, I might not do that, just protein bars. And give me some good rest right here. That's what I'm going to work on. That's the plan. That's a new one. I anchored my entire sleep setup with nothing but rocks. It's rocky ground, but it ain't going nowhere. I mean, I got rocks everywhere on it. Good deal, man. I'm gonna sleep here. It's nice and cool. There ain't no bugs. I saw one fly earlier. I'm gonna get some sleep, rest this leg up. We'll see how this leg feels in the morning. That's all I can do.